Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, 5 people died from an early morning accident involving a container carrying truck and a commercial bus in Ojota area of Lagos. Residents of Lekki and other flood-prone areas battled through floods following the heavy downpour witnessed in Lagos on Saturday. And former President Goodluck Jonathan extols the virtues of late Maitama Sule, describes him as a truly detribalized Nigerian who is committed to a unified country. And leaders of 19 countries at the G20 summit in Germany renewed their commitment to implement the Paris deal on climate change despite the US pulling out.
And on business news tonight, Nigeria's interbank retail forex market receives $254.3 million from the central bank.
And on sports news tonight, Rivers United shift focus to domestic assignment after crashing out of the CAF Confederations Cup group phase.
We'll begin tonight on a rather tragic note. 5 people have been confirmed dead after an early morning accident in the Ojota area of Lagos State. Rescue officials say a call came in at about 4 a.m. from the scene of the accident involving a commercial bus and truck carrying a container. I would like to warn, though, that some of the pictures you're about to see might be disturbing.
Ojota area of Lagos State, Nigeria's southwest region. The screams of anguish is palpable as onlookers stare at the horror that lies before them. It's a gory sight that will churn the bowels of even the stone-hearted. 5 people are dead and 3 rescued after a 20-foot container fell on a bus in the early hours of the day.
We had to break the median for our heavy equipment to be able to assess the point of rescue, and we were able to rescue 3 people alive, 2 male and a female, and now after recovery of the vehicle, 5 people were confirmed dead.
Owing to the condition of a commercial vehicle, actual statistics are not readily available. But the Lasema boss says that the frequency of containers falling in trucks in recent times is worrisome.
The issue of articulated vehicles, especially tanker and containerized trucks, most especially those carrying logs of wood, is becoming a menace to which we almost put our eyes. At this same spot about 3 weeks ago, a container like this fell, and it took us 7 hours to recover them because of the space. You can see our equipment, very heavy. We have to destroy public infrastructure to rescue lives.
There, however, appears to be an additional problem. There are bad spots on this stretch of the road. The call here is to those in authority not only to ensure that truck drivers adhere to safety rules, but also for government to constantly maintain the roads.
We want to let members of the public who probably suspect they have family members that could be involved to approach the divisional police officer at Alausa. A desk will be opened to support the families so that we can give details with regards to the people that lost their lives in this accident.
It's one tragedy too many that these onlookers will not forget in a hurry.
These are pictures of what we saw earlier today. Some communities in Lagos State are experiencing flooding as a result of heavy rains, which lasted for several hours. One of the worst hit areas is the Lekki axis along Lekki-Ajah Highway in Lagos. The residents are complaining that the flood is so massive and are unable to leave the area. The Lekki axis is a few kilometers from the Lagos Lagoon. Other places affected include the Victoria Island area, Victoria Garden City, Ajah and environs. Meteorological agency NIMET earlier in the year warned of increase in the amount of rainfall this year, while asking residents in flood-prone areas to relocate. Meanwhile, the Lagos State government is appealing to residents of the state living in flood-prone areas to relocate in order to avert loss of lives and property. Commissioner for Environment Dr. Samuel Adejare, in a statement, warned all residents in the state of the consequences of the continuous heavy rainfall. The commissioner notes that the rains are bound to disrupt normal activities as well as have an untoward effect on landed properties, roads and the environment. The government also implores all Lagosians to, as much as possible, stay indoors when it rains, except absolutely necessary to protect lives. In the meantime, officers from the ministry have been deployed to coastal areas and sites. Residents are advised to call the free toll lines 112 or 767 for assistance in case of emergency. Once again, we would like to tell our viewers that you can call the toll lines 112 or 767 for assistance in the case of an emergency. Well, over now to Delta State, a similar situation in Nigeria's southwest region, where the state government is promising to do its best to prevent erosion and flooding in the state. This assurance is coming from the Commissioner for Environment, Mr. John Nani, who led a team from the ministry for an inspection tour of an evacuation site in Orogodo River, Ika South local government area of Delta State. The team told the community in clear terms that those who have formed the habit of blocking waterways with buildings and waste will not be treated with kid glove.
It's an excavation exercise at the Orogodo River aimed at erosion control in Agbo and its environs. Orogodo River is heavily silted due to erosion and flood occasioned by the topography of the town and the poor waste disposal attitude of the people. This is one of the major ongoing ecological projects being handled by the Delta State Ministry of Environment, a development that brings some relief to residents of the community.
This river is the only source of water naturally, and with the topography, it was not flowing. Now there's current floating of the tide straight to the river, and it's expanded. So all those waste, all those stagnation, is very, very free now.
This might come as a good development to the people, but the state government is far from impressed about the attitude of those who have decided to erect structures that now block the river.
If somebody is occupying a place, not only blocking the waterway and is using it as a market, it's an illegal occupant of this very place. And since it's illegal, he has no permission, he has no documents from either the local government or the state government. The right thing to do is to bring the building down to allow free flow of waterway. So there's nothing wrong about it.
Seemingly satisfied with the job done so far, the State Commissioner for Environment, Mr. John Nani, promises free flow of water after the exercise is completed.
I know full well that the work is going on well. It's not something that it's not something we are expecting to finish within a week. We're sure after 7 days when you come here, I will tell you that this river you are seeing will be navigable enough for speedboats to be riding.
The ministry says it is committed to ensuring that infrastructure in Delta State remains in good shape by ensuring that they are protected from damages that might be caused by flooding and other factors.
Nigeria's former president, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, has been speaking on the virtues and the lessons from the late Dambatan in Kano, Dr. Yusuf Maitama Sule. Dr. Jonathan, who paid a condolence visit to the government and people of Kano State today, says the late nationalist believed in the unity of Nigeria. The roll call of sympathizers and visitors to Kano State to condole with the family of the late elder statesman, Alhaji Maitama Sule, has continued to add credence to his virtues and statesmanship.
Your Excellency, the former president.
Joining that list today is Nigeria's former president, Goodluck Jonathan.
The government and the entire people of Kano State.
Jonathan is received by the state governor, Alhaji Abdullahi Ganduje, and a host of dignitaries, including the former governor of Kano State, Malam Ibrahim Shikro, former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, past and serving lawmakers, as well as state government officials.
House of Representatives several years.
Eulogizing the late Dhammasan in Kano, Dr. Jonathan underlines Dr. Maitama Sule's commitment to the unity of Nigeria.
This is a man that believes in the unity of this country. A man that advocates good governance and the need for Nigerians to live peacefully together and propel the growth of this country. Maitama Sule is one person that most of his talks are not centered on the issue of one section of the country or the other, or one region or the other. Most of his public utterances centered on Nigeria as a corporate body. And any time we sit down to discuss, you learn so much from him. You get a lot of inspiration and encouragement because of his commitment to the corporate development and the unity of our country.
Whom I believe you are familiar with.
His host, Governor Ganduje, goes down memory lane, relaying how Maitama Sule in 1979 stepped down for Alhaji Shehu Shagari under the then National Party of Nigeria, conceding defeat at primaries.
In fact, at that time, many people believed that Maitama Sule would emerge the presidential candidate. But to our surprise, in his speech, he said God had already elected the presidential candidate. God has already elected the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And God elected Shehu Shagari, so he was not ready to fight what God elected.
Meanwhile, sources say that the state governor, Alhaji Abdullahi Ganduje, will continue to entertain sympathizers at the government house in honor of late elder statesman who died in a hospital in Cairo, Egypt, at the age of 88. The governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, has ordered the prosecution of a former majority leader in the Rivers State House of Assembly over the alleged attempted murder of another House member, Michael Chinda. In another matter, the governor also demanded closure in another murder case against the former chairman of Asari Toro local government area, Ojukaye Flag Amakre, who is standing trial for the alleged killing of 2 persons.
You have very, very taxing issues that you must have to. One has to do with the attempted murder of the member of the House of Assembly. Now, till now, the person who nearly killed that person is roaming about the entire street and nothing has happened. 2, the murder cases of one of our persons who was murdered in Asari Toro. Each time the matter is in court, we are told that the accused person is sick. But after the court adjourns the matter, you hear the accused person making statements. That means that something is wrong somewhere. Anybody who has committed an offense or seems to have committed an offense must face the music. And so these are very 2 issues. I think that the people of the state are waiting to see how the state will handle this matter. Nobody is above the law.
River State Governor Nyesom Wike. In part 2, after the break, Oshogbo, the Osun State capital, records serious traffic jam as a result of the senatorial rerun elections in the state. Stay with us.